The Chronicles of Spectro.
Happy Halloween, Heliotic Armada. Today, I got a really special review for you guys. Someone literally paid me $900 to review Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. Could you believe that? This is considered one of the worst sequels, if not one of the worst horror films ever made. Releasing only a year after the Blair Witch Project. Not only do I have to review this film, I also have to break down the secrets of Esrever, a special feature that was released for the physical copies of this film. Oh wow, I'm intrigued. Let's get this review started, shall we? I honestly cannot believe I have to review this film. I might as well review Dr. Mavius Levy's new invention, the Ghost Gun. And no, it can't shoot ghosts, it shoots out ghosts. Why would I need anything like that? My goodness, it just absolutely makes no sense. Oh my god! Lady Uni, how did you get into my house?
You told me your house keys were hidden under the welcome mat?
Oh, yeah, that's right. My bad.
I hope you didn't start the video without me.
Oh, no, you didn't miss much. I was just about to start the review.
Alrighty then, let's proceed. The movie opens up with a montage of various media outlets talking about the success and phenomenon of the Blair Witch movie, informing the viewers that the Blair Witch Project was also a theoretically released movie in this universe. This in turn created a ginormous fan base and cult following as we are then introduced to our main characters. And they are nothing to write home about. The main cast all offer different things to the table in terms of their personality and quirks, but that doesn't do them any favor as all they do is stagger around, get drunk or high, and offer nothing of substance to the story.
And it makes it all the worse when you realize the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that this film isn't shot like the first movie. Instead of guerrilla-style camera shots, we have a story that utilizes more traditional filmmaking styles. And I'm sorry to say this, but it just doesn't work at all. If anything, it took me out of the story because of the fact that I was so engrossed with the original film that a sequel trying to live up to the hype of the Blair Witch Project, it killed it when it decided to go for this direction.
And this is where the skepticism begins to arise for our viewing of this film. Book of Shadows underwent a big reshoot under the request of Artisan Pictures. They didn't like the direction that Joe Berlinger was taking, instead wanting the movie to feel more like a traditional horror flick.
But the conspiracy theorist within me thinks otherwise. If anything, I feel like this movie wasn't intended to be a Blair Witch sequel. Keep in mind, the movie came out a year after the first film. The way this film is shot, written, and executed tells me that this movie wasn't originally going to be a sequel, but rather an original horror film. And I feel like they only decided to throw in Blair Witch references to capitalize off the Blair Witch Project, henceforth the reshoots, but I digress.
And if that's the case, then this movie does a really good job paralleling reality as the main plot of the film centers on a man banking off the success and hype of Blair Witch by creating the Blair Witch Hunt. Our heroes tour around the forest that the legend of the Blair Witch foretold. For being a horror movie, this film is not even scary in the slightest.
Yeah, what gives? Sure, the first film had some very slow moments, but the dread on top of the realism made the movie very eerie and cerebral. It was frightening because it felt like it was shot in our reality. Here, the sequel offers nothing but dull and boring pacing. What makes it even worse is the fact that it tries to be scary, but it comes off as goofy and pretentious. Take a look at this scene, for example. Look! What was that?
And it doesn't happen just once. It happens twice throughout the film, and it's the most unserious and laughable bad attempt at scaring the audience. Hell, it doesn't even serve a purpose. We never really figure out why this ghost keeps appearing and disappearing. Also, it fails as a jump scare because the ghost appears, walks backwards, and fades away. It's the least intimidating scare attempt I've ever seen in a horror film.
It's not just the poorly executed scares that make this movie dull, it's the overall quality of it too. This movie looks like an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer without Buffy. Even Buffy was scarier than this. To make matters even worse, the acting is also pretty hammy too. Like, take a look at this performance right here.
Every word!
Where the fuck are my cameras?
This is all of our goddamn work!
Look, I'm no Meryl Streep myself, but could they have done another take?
Yeah, I'm starting to think this wasn't intended to be a sequel.
Right? The only connection that this movie has to the Blair Witch is name and name only. Speaking of names, Where's the Book of Shadows? If your movie is called Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, I'm going to assume there's going to be a Book of Shadows.
Maybe the title is referring to the fact that the story we're seeing is a chapter within the Book of Shadows.
Well, if that's the case, you might as well call it Shadows from the Book of Blair Witch. It's like calling Spiral Book of Spiral. Saw how many fucking sequels does this movie have?
Coming back to the film, to really showcase how incompetent our heroes are, they end up getting drunk one night, not realizing what chaos and uncertainty will ensue the next morning. Upon waking up, they realize the research pages and documents they were using had been shredded to pieces. And wow, this is some interesting visuals there. How big were those documents? It's literally snowing pieces of paper. Also forgot to mention that we also get various flash-forward scenes of our main characters being interrogated by the police due to some events that they may or may not have been a part of.
There are rival groups trying to master the hunt themselves as our heroes are trying to compete against them. Luckily for our heroes, they find the exact location of where the Blair Witch tapes were found and make themselves comfortable there.
Also, something that we forgot to bring up are the bizarre, subtle foreshadowing moments literally throughout the movie. Yeah, like the ones you see memed to death on TikTok. We get one clip of someone getting murdered and then back to the story. What gives?
Later in the film, the goth one of the group goes to a convenience store they visited earlier and gets side-eyed by the cashier. In return, she chokes and threatens the cashier. Like, yeah, understandable, but Jesus, a little harsh, don't you think?
What's going on in this movie? It's either pointless flash forwards, our heroes getting drunk or high, terrible scares, and what the fuck am I looking at?
Take me seriously, I'm a serious horror movie, ow! Unfortunately, their Wiccan friend dies, and our heroes look back to see what was the cause of her death and all the BS that they had to endure throughout their tour. They find out that by reversing the footage they've gathered throughout their adventure, they see the ugly truth, and it's revealed that not only did they black out during the night of their documents being shredded, but they were also the ones who did it themselves.
They start to assume that one of their friends is being possessed by the Blair Witch, and thus, said friend is hanged, and we find out that on that same night, they also killed the other tourists. Henceforth, the subtle foreshadowing. They are then arrested, and we cut back to the scenes within the interrogation room. We are shown even more twists and turns as we see security footage of the scene with the goth chick at the convenience store, revealing what truly happened that night. Even more tapes are shown to reveal that they also killed Erica as well, not remembering a single thing that happened to them that very night.
And that's it. No, I'm not joking, that's how the movie ends.
What was the point in all of this? If it wanted to live up to being a successor to the first, then why didn't it try to be something new? Book of Shadows felt like a waste of time for both the crew, the studio, and the audience watching at home. But surprisingly, despite the movie being absolutely terrible, there is an interesting element to it that was the true selling point in the movie. It's a home media marketing campaign.
Just like the first Blair Witch movie, this film also has some interesting lore to it. Rewatching this movie, there are Easter eggs littered about. The only way to even find these Easter eggs is via the film's special features, The Secrets of Esrever. Of course, Esrever is reverse spelled backwards. The concept of this home media release marketing was to allow viewers at home to locate the secret Easter eggs, which in return hints at a much bigger story being played out throughout the movie.
The Secrets of the Esrever reveals a ton of subliminal messaging that, for what it's worth, are pretty impressive. Don't get us wrong, the movie is still bad, but the attention to detail with the subliminal messages and the hidden details make up for the film's lackluster plot.
It sucks that it had to be from this movie.
There are a total of 5 clues hidden throughout the film. When you watch the Secrets of Esrever bonus feature, at the bottom right corner, various letters begin to flash on screen. When spelt, they reveal the words door, water, mirror, rug, and grave. These words are references to scenes significant to the film. Locating each of them, you'll find a cryptic message. Combining said messages will reveal a phrase that says,
Afterwards, you have to log onto your computer and type those words down onto the official Blair Witch website, which then revealed a new scene not shown in the original movie. Afterwards, your name will be added to a list for those who are able to crack the secrets of Esrever. But that doesn't end there. Coming back to the film, after the words have been revealed, the main character Tristan starts speaking backwards. When reversing the audio, he states that the children will again walk free. Combining the two phrases, they make up the sentence, "Seek me no further," or "the children will again walk free."
And for those watching at home, doing this challenge is a bit pointless now since all future releases of this movie have removed this marketing campaign, and the website to even unlock the bonus scene has been deactivated.
While The Secrets of Esrever is impressive and a bit fun at times, it doesn't change the fact that this movie itself is a huge letdown and probably one of the worst horror films I've ever seen.
I doubt anyone this day and age is watching this movie anyways. It's pretty much fallen into the realm of obscurity. And again, if you're even remotely curious to watch the version with The Secrets of Esrever, you'd have to secondhandly purchase the original DVD and the VHS releases of this film.
A poor plot, terrible characters, terrible scares, and above all, a waste of time. If anything, stick with the original Blair Witch Project this Halloween season and avoid this film at all costs, even through morbid curiosity. Well, that's about it, I guess. But now I'm a little curious. I wonder if the website's still up.
I already mentioned that the website was shut down years ago.
I mean, you may never know. Somebody must have purchased the website and it's probably still running to this very day. Oh wow, it's still running.
That's impossible. It was lost to time.
Now if my theory is true, there's gotta be more to this Secrets of Esrever thing. Let's see what happens when we type in the entirety of the sentence. Oh. Nothing.
What the hell?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
I think you just summoned the Blair Witch.
Hey, I can fucking see that, thank you!
I'm just observing.
Uni, I got an idea. You're in your ghost form, right? Get inside the gun and I'll shoot you at the tape.
Are you insane? You're gonna get me killed.
Just trust me!
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Alright. Yippee-ki-yay! You okay?
Wow, that worked like a charm.
Now I want to know, who paid me to do this review?